Hello, everyone. This is Shani, the hospice social worker. So, listen, y'all. I'm coming to y'all tonight because I just want to talk about something real quick. I ain't gonna be on here long, but I just want to talk about killing your flesh. So, last week around this time, I was in Lafayette, Louisiana. I was with my people and we were having an amazing time. And I knew I had a week that was going to be heavy. It was going to be a lot going on. However, I felt like I was ready. I felt like, I was ready for the week that I was getting ready to have. So I prepared myself to come back to Florida and to jump back in, and man, I feel like I was getting hit with all different type of stuff. I really felt like I walked out of paradise into a whole storm. Many don't know this because you're getting to know me, but the ones that do know me know that I lost my brother 3 years ago. He was murdered, and his murder felt like it created a domino effect in my life. And I had a couple family members to pass, including my mom. And so my brother was murdered in May, and my mom passed that same year in July, 2 days before my baby girl's birthday. And after my mom passed, then my aunt, who came for my mom's funeral, she passed a month later due to some complications from COVID that she got when she came for my mom's funeral. And so this week, when I traveled back home, I knew that the person that murdered my brother was going to trial. The trial was going to start the next day, and I chose not to go to the trial for my sanity. I didn't want to know like all the different things that come out when you go to a trial, so I bypassed that. The man, he was found guilty, and he will be serving a life sentence, mandatory life sentence, for the murder of my brother. And a big part of me, would want to rejoice and feel like justice is done. However, I really don't feel that way. I actually have been moved with compassion for this man, because he is a lost soul, and it's my prayer that he gets his life right with Christ. I forgave him over a year ago. I forgave him, and I released him into the freedom of my forgiveness. However, it seemed like every time I decide that I'm going to give these things to God, that something else comes up, that another storm comes. But I remember hearing Prophetess Tiffany, for all that follow her, Prophetess Tiffany saying that lions only eat flesh. And man, I constantly think about that when I feel like things are starting to rage in my life. I constantly feel that way when just like all kinds of things are hitting me at one time. I did a live earlier this week talking about rest and just talking about the meaning of respite. And I realized today that as a social worker providing hospice care, we have to be very mindful that the same advice that we're giving to family members, we're taking heed ourselves. Mental health workers, helping professionals, we take on a lot. We take on a lot. We take on a lot of other people's problems. We hear a lot, and we can become a dumping ground for a lot of people. And so when you're constantly being dumped on, it's like at some point you have to release those things and not get caught up in your feelings, and to kill your flesh about certain things, like to be able to take in information and process it and then say, okay, God, I give this to you. Because if you do not regularly rest and cast your cares upon God, regardless of who it is, you will get devoured. I have gotten devoured more times out here, or almost devoured, I should say, more times by someone else's burden, by somebody else's anxiety, by somebody else's feeling, because I be moved by what they are saying. I internalize, and because naturally by nature, I am solution focused, resolution type person. And so those things will cause me to hold on to a care longer than I need to. And things will start hitting me from all different types of ways. So I'm on here today encouraging you all to cast your care upon God, to kill your flesh, because lions only eat flesh. That's one of the most powerful statements that I've heard. Cast your care, give it over to God. Give it all to God and start a day new. Give those things to God that will cause you to be detected or cause you to be devoured by a lion. Hi, Raquel. I miss you. The picture queen herself. We took some good pictures together. I'm on here talking about my week and just talking about the importance of casting your care and recognizing that, like Prophetess Tiffany said, lions only eat flesh. And so if we don't cast our care upon God, there's been so many different things that have happened this week. And it's to be expected when we had such an amazing time in Lafayette, a Holy Ghost filled time, just from the moment I got off the plane until I left, it was just amazing. The relationships, the people that I actually met, only to come back home to have to deal with what the enemy would try to make me think was a storm. But I decided that I was going to cast my care, because I understand that lions only eat flesh, and that I'm going to kill my flesh and get out of my own way. And so I just wanted to come on and talk about it a little bit and remind the people that take your rest, cast your cares, give those things to God that are out of your control, so that you won't be devoured, so that you won't be intoxicated by your cares, because the Bible tells us to cast our cares upon Him, because He cares. He says, be sober and vigilant. You can't be sober nor vigilant when you intoxicated by your cares. Our cares, our worries, our anxieties, it intoxicates us. So there's no way to be sober, and there's no way to be vigilant. So I just wanted to get on here and share that, because I needed to be able to get on here and just talk briefly about my week and how things have been going, and check in with my people. And yeah, so I want you all to have a great evening, and I pray everyone's weekend is well, and I may be back on here tomorrow. I may come from my salon and talk to y'all, maybe, depending on who I have in there. But yeah, they may not be with that. So, all right, you have a good evening. My name is Shani, the hospice social worker. And yeah, into my next video.